Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Good evening, Bears fans. Week 6 is upon us, and we are ready for some football. This week, this Monday night, we're going to DC on a business trip, to go holler at these commanders and try to get some get back, based off of what happened last year. Now, I want to welcome you guys in wherever you're watching from. I'm trying to give you a little bit of time to get up in here, because I'm interested in what you guys have to say tonight and how you feel about this business trip we're about to embark on. Now, a lot of people are coming with the word salad, saying, "Oh, this is just another game. This doesn't really mean that much." But I beg to differ. But I also feel like two things can be true. I feel like number one, the Bears should come in, with the biggest chip on their shoulder. I'm talking about chip on their shoulder the size of Mount Everest. Mainly because that loss was humiliating, number one. And number two, that kind of, destroyed our season last year. Number three is the quarterback matchup. Quarterback matchup is what it is, number one versus number two. These guys are, going to develop a rivalry. If this thing keeps up, everyone stays healthy and stays on their respective ball clubs. But it's a situation where you're not going to be able to talk about one without the other, especially with games like this. Shout out to Chris Mackey. What's going on? If you're new here, please like and subscribe. But come on in here, give you guys a little chance to come on in here as I, dribble about, this Monday's game. It's a lot to be excited about. We have guys coming back from injury, that's going to help us on the defensive side. We got some new configurations on the offensive side, mainly the tackles, being that we have some new guys that's going to be tackles for us this week. Hopefully, hopefully, Darnell Wright plays. Excuse me. But Ozzie Trapillo, if not, Ozzie Trapillo is able to come in and handle business. He did a great job versus Matt Crosby, though in the short term and short segments, he did an awesome job. But the man of the hour is going to be left tackle, and I think they call him the Canadian Hammer. But listen. The Washington Commanders have a very good defensive front. I think that's the only thing good about the defense, the front four. Very aggressive, very strong up front, very stout, might I add, up front. They got some guys up there. A couple of former Bears on their team, playing that defense. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup. DC is getting a lot of praise, saying they're this and they're that. And like they're so much better, but listen, the game's got to be played. The game has to be played. And, if we want to take anything from last year, though we didn't start off well, we still came back and took the lead with some seconds left. And the unfortunate thing happened. The unfortunate thing happened, the Hail Mary. You know, Everybody pointed blame at Eberflus and Tyree Stevenson, and rightfully so. But you win as a team and you lose as a team. Hopefully this is the total team effort. Like I said, we got a new left tackle in Theo Benedict, and we're gonna have some guys coming back. Hopefully, guys like Colston Loveland, which is our top 10 pick. He was our number one pick this season in the draft. The tight end. And if you looked at last year, all right, Jim, I got you. Shout out to you. If you looked at last year, last week, well, 2 weeks ago versus the Raiders, our tight end left a lot on the field. That game could have been a lot different and the margin could have been a lot wider. Maybe we wouldn't have had to depend on a blocked field goal to win that game versus the Raiders if Cole Kmet made some of those catches. But hopefully, everyone's been waiting on a breakout of Colston Loveland. And hopefully we have an opportunity to see that this week in week 6. What are some things that interest you about this game outside of the obvious? I mean, we don't have to dig in too deep. You guys can do what you do. But we really, I'm dying to know how you guys feel about this. I'm anxious for this game. I wish we were playing tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish this game was tonight because I'm so ready to get this show on the road. I hear a lot of the experts saying how Jaden Daniels is gonna do the incredible again. He owns Caleb in Chicago. I can't wait to prove them wrong. I mean, because looking at that game last season, it wasn't like Washington came out and just blew the doors off. We just wasn't playing well. It was more about what we didn't do than what they did. And I think the same thing is going to apply Monday night. We have to make sure we execute. Yes, we have issues with the with the defense in general, especially with the run. We have issues with the pass rush. We have issues in the secondary because we got losing guys left and right. But Kyler Gordon comes back. Now, Brisker is in question. So there's some things going on. There's some things going on. And I'm interested to see how this thing is going to play out. But I think guys need to come in with the attitude of business trip. Take it personal. This is not just another game. You can think of it as just not another game and get very extremely hype about this game and still not have to play out of the constructs of what we've been working with, what we've been working on all week, the things that we study watching film. We still can come out here hype and anxious to get this W and still play within the construct of our team. And that's what I meant by earlier. Two things can be true. What I don't understand is people trying to make this out as just another game. We not downplaying. The art of downplaying makes me feel like some people are ducking smoke. Now, I do understand that the players, like especially guys like Caleb Williams, um, they feel like they have to do that because you don't want to quote unquote wake the beast or you want to be politically correct or media correct or whatever. But man, listen, if you wake the beast up, you need to be prepared to handle business. That's how I feel about it, because either way, you're gonna have to see them folks. Either way. If you stay quiet or if you talk a whole lot of trash, either way, you're gonna have to see these people. Speaking about seeing some people, my man T Fields in the building. What's up, brother?
I know it's dark. Let me figure out there we go.
It's all
What's
good.
good,
It's
bro?
all good. What's happening with you?
Nothing, Cam. Waiting for Monday.
Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Um, I was talking to the people earlier and saying that a lot of people want us to handle this thing like just another game.
Nah,
How you feel about that?
nah, it's a revenge game. It's a Tariq Stevenson stepping up game. Um, I mean, just for me, just playing sports in the past, that's how my mentality would be.
The
And
get back, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's all about that. It's all about that.
Because especially with that game being a turning point of the season last year,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was the Bears. That was the difference between 5-2 and 4-3, and losing what 10 straight after that.
absolutely.
So yeah, I think that absolutely mess with their mental. That's a get back game, and they can use that game to propel this season even more than what it is now with the new coaching staff and things of that nature.
There you go. There you go. And you mentioned Tyreek Stevenson and the get back that he can do. Like I was telling people, you can still do have this chip on your shoulder and have the burn in your chest and the feeling of the get back and still play within the constructs of this team and still be able to play well and not try to do everything, just
Exactly.
strictly focus on your job, what your
Yeah.
job is. And like that doesn't keep you from playing with a chip on your shoulder. It just doesn't do that. Now, you know, if we having issues of being mentally tough, then hey, yeah, well, we can say that. But I don't think the new coaching staff coaches that way. You know, we got a lot of
Mm,
former players over there. These guys understand the uh the value of coming into big games with a certain type of aggression, certain type of feeling. You know, those guys on the sideline understand that, and I think they're going to do an excellent job in putting that into our players. Now, of
mhm.
course, you know you're going to hear some people say, "Oh, we're going to leave that in the past," or "I wasn't here for that." Nah, it doesn't matter if you were here or not. You're a part of it now. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You're a part of this thing now, so you need to act like you was here last year and play like it. You know, um, we got some guys that's injured and that's questionable for this game.
Mhm.
Austin Booker won't be back. It doesn't look like as
What,
of
what, who would that be back?
yes, Austin
Oh,
Booker.
okay. I thought it was too
It
soon
doesn't
since
look like.
I didn't think he'd be back just yet anyway. They just was able to to get him off the list.
Yeah, guys that's in. Uh, Colston Loveland was, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping you know is toward to getting back. Jaquan Brisker was questionable. Is listed as cool.
Agree.
And Jonah, which is a huge one for
Yes.
me. I'm going to go back for a second. I'm going to go back to Jaquan Brisker being questionable for this game. Now we all know what kind of swag and toughness he comes with when he comes into games. Now it ain't been a lot of play behind this swag and behind play behind it. But he does bring a certain amount of energy to this ball club. And he was another guy that was absent last year, you know,
Mhm.
when this thing took place. You know, I would love to see him play, but if he's not healthy, we got Hicks and we got Owens. Preferably I'd like to see Owens come in for him and
Yeah.
you know, fill that spot up. I believe Owens is a good player. He's not a great player, but he's a heck of a backup, especially in situations like this.
Hmm.
But Jonah Jackson, let's talk about him for a quick second. Jonah Jackson, you know, as much hell as we gave Black Braxton Jones this year, and even at the end of last year, Jonah Jackson is on. He's definitely his play has been in question. I'm sorry. It's been very lackluster for all the hype that was built up when we got him. Former Pro Bowl player under Ben Johnson, of course, in Detroit. He was one of the guys with the Rams for the longest. But this year for us, man, it just ain't been happening on his side. What has been happening has been a lot of penalties.
No, I was about to say.
It's been a lot of penalties and a lot of questionable aggression when it comes to blocking, particularly for the run. Now,
Friend, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I want I want to know how you feel about a guy Jackson before I go into how
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of nervous when we picked him up because I had a friend who covered the Rams for a couple of
mm,
years, and they said that he was struggling, and they even moved him to center to try to to fix his issues, and that still wasn't work. So when they were able to get out, get away from him, and we took him off their hands, they were happy. So I was like, oh God, here we go again. Like we can't find the right lineman. And then I think when we got the center from Atlanta and of course the guard from Kansas City, it kind of
mhm.
covered it up. And I was like, well, hopefully with them being sometimes you need they can assist and make make next to you the next position over better. I was hoping that would be the case, but man, it was I can't remember what game it was, but it was a flag on. It seemed like every flag was him.
Yeah,
Him or
yeah,
Darnell Wright. It was
yeah.
him or Darnell Wright.
I feel like that was that Minnesota game, the
Yeah, it might
first
have
the
been.
first week. I
Yeah,
feel
it
like
was.
that was that.
It's every I was like, oh God, what do you do now? 79, holding. It was getting ridiculous.
Listen, situations like this, it's time to see what we got on the bench, man. It's time to
Yeah,
pull these guys that's been working and practicing all year long so far. Grinding through training camp, grinding through the exhibition season. It's showtime for them guys now. You
yeah,
know, and Ben Johnson says he kind of echoed my sentiments that he doesn't feel like the running game issues are on the running backs.
yeah.
He feels like the improvement has to be up front,
Hmm.
and that was something I said. I believe it was Monday that the issue might not be with these backs. The issue might be with the guys that's getting penalties or failing to hold their block. Now, we got Tooney. I think the right side is cool,
Yeah,
but it's just something with that left side we're just not getting through. It's just not happening over there. And I
hmm,
think it's time to, put my man on the stand, man, and just question him, dog. It's questions. And we got to bring in Newman, man. Newman has played pretty good, through training camp and through the preseason. It's time to see what we got. Because, ain't no sense of changing after a loss. Because we've been getting by with this questionable play at the guard position all year long. And we ended up being 2-2, but we still have a lot of complaints about what is and what is not happening.
yeah.
So if you don't feel like it's on the backs, make changes.
And you know what? I was talking to my cousin. He's a running back coach at high school in Mississippi. He actually
Hmm.
played with Eli Manning and Ole Miss. He was a tailback there as well.
Okay.
And we've just been talking about the just that position this year. It seems like the numbers are way down for every single body. I mean, Saquon Barkley numbers is down. Derrick Henry
Hmm.
numbers is down. I think I call him dad by Travis Etienne is like top three, top four
Yeah, he
in
is. Travis Etienne
rushing.
is.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not normal. So I'm like, is it just the defense who's finally got to that position? Are they not just we're not getting to the next level? The offensive linemen are not getting to the next level. What is it?
I think different teams. I think the running game means something different to each team.
Mhm.
Some of these guys they're so confident in the quarterback play that they have that they don't really rely on the running game, or they start out with it early and get away from it as the game flows on. You know, but the offense that Ben Johnson has is predicated off being able to run the ball effectively.
Mhm.
You know, because we have a young quarterback and we're trying to make the game a lot easier for him, by starting off things with the run. It's important to us. And it's also important to teams like Detroit. Detroit may
Mhm.
have the best running game or collective running back group in the NFL.
Yeah.
Hate it or love it. You know, Green Bay does a good job with Josh Jacobs. Tampa, they do a good job with their run pass ratio as well. But lately, since guys been falling off, Baker has had carried the load a lot, heavy load. What's up, Jim? You good, man?
Yeah, I've been trying for this seems like a half hour, man.
Right on, right on. Glad to have you, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
So, Jim, we're gonna step back a little bit since you here in the building. How you feel about this game coming up Monday night?
Well, I was looking at a few stats, while I was waiting to get in here. Washington's defense ranked 24th. Bears offense ranked what 17th. We're finally putting up 25 points a game. And it's been a while since I've been able to say something like that. I don't even know when the last time we put up 25 points. I know it's only 4 weeks, but
Yeah.
um, I was feeling a little better. Maybe with Daniels might have been out, but then I seen he played well last week against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers is a tough team. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I think
I think the I think the better question, not to cut you off, I think the better
yeah.
question is how do you feel like the Bears mentality should be going back to DC, back to the scene of the crime? How do you feel like their mentality should be? Should they just carry this thing out as just another game, or should they go into this game, with the eye of the tiger, ready to get
Uh,
busy?
I definitely think we gotta have some sort of chip on our shoulder, except for mention Stevenson for sure, right? Uh, I think before during last season, I was feeling real good before that Washington game, and after that, it just seems like we tank or not tank, but it seems like we just lost all confidence after that. Uh, but yeah, I think we should go in there with something to prove Monday night. I was at the last Monday night at home, and I thought we should have won that. So it's another national televised game. I think we should come out and I think we should have a chip on our shoulder and pull out all the
Yes,
stops to
indeed.
win this game. Yeah,
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like I was telling the people earlier, listen, you can still take this game personally and still go out here and play under
sure.
the scheme and do everything necessary to win this game. But I think this game in particular did the opposite for each team. It catapulted Washington and
Mhm.
you know it sent us down the tank.
Yeah, we look 10 in a row after that, something like that.
Crazy
I,
work after that. Crazy
one of
work.
the one of the few things is that I actually prefer to play the starter quarterback. I don't know the record. I don't even know if this is true or not, but I just feel like the Bears have a bad history against backups.
Oh yeah, just guys that yeah,
Backups and rookies, they just don't tend to do well. It seems like I guess 'cause
man.
I don't know, but I was like, I'm definitely happy Jaden Daniels is playing.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm probably one of the few, but I'm definitely happy he's playing because I was like, man, I can just see Marcus. Is it Marcus Mariota? He's the backup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see who he follows me on Instagram, by the way. But I can see him just like having a field day against the Bears for some odd reason because I don't know if we just like, oh, it's the backup. We all right. I don't know our mentality with that is it just to
Yeah.
me. Again, I don't know the numbers, but that's just from me being a fan for over the years. That's what it always seems like to me.
Yeah. I just honestly think, man, you know, if we don't play these guys at full strength, it's not as satisfying.
No, not at all.
We won't get, of course we'll get the satisfaction of the win, but at this point, as personal as we taking this game, it just don't give you the same feel. Like we'll take the win. We're not gonna apologize for beating anybody.
No,
Not at
What you
all.
saying and what you saying, T feels about, these lesser guys coming in and putting on the show. You ain't saying nothing but what the Bears have shown us in certain times, you know what I'm saying, in certain years. So you're not wrong, but it'll be so much gratifying, for us to come in there and get busy versus a fully staffed, Washington team.
Now is
Now,
T Mac
everybody
playing?
had, huh?
Is T Mac playing? Or is he out?
Last I heard that he's ready to play.
Okay.
Last I heard. But But like I said, everyone has injuries on the team.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. But as long as the key guys are in there, the main characters are in there, that's what I want. That's what I need to see. Now Washington, people are saying that they're doing some different things than last year. I don't think they're doing anything different. I think they're just a lot more effective in what they're doing. You know, the running game has been a major part of what they had, what they have going on. And it was the same thing last year. You know, they opened that game up against us running the ball. I think they ran the ball maybe about 5 or 6 straight times, you know, with Brian Robinson Jr. And it was those nasty, those nasty grinded out type of yards that he was getting, but they did enough to soften up the defense. Now, the only touchdown Daniel threw was the Hail Mary, and I think that was for like 50 some yards, almost 60 yards. But
Yeah,
he was not that spectacular. Now, we all know Caleb wasn't good at all, but he didn't turn the ball over, and still, as bad as he played, he had a 60% passer rating. As bad as he played, he only threw for 131 yards. As bad as he played, he still put us in position to win. It was
yeah,
up to the defense to close the door. 18-15, and really, you can't really, only reason why you get mad at the defense because they gave up the last, that big
yeah.
shot at the end. But it was a very competitive game. But I want to believe we're going to score a lot more points than 15 this year, fellas. I want to believe that.
Yeah,
It's a different Caleb Williams this year.
Yeah, I think this is just a different identity.
yeah.
And
And
I
for the
hope
most, go ahead. Sorry.
I hope they took the opportunity this bye week to really focus on what the identity is going to be. But I like what I was hearing from Ben Johnson. What do you guys think? Go ahead, Ben.
Me? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, like I said, it's a different Caleb, and it's a different Washington team than it was last year. Last year, I think Washington overachieved a little bit, perhaps, especially getting out of that game against us for sure. But yeah, I think that whole different team, whole different mindset, different coaching staff. I really like our chances in this game. I really do. I think we're going to come out on Monday night and have a great game. I really do. I'm looking real forward to it, actually.
Go for it, T. Phil.
I hope we don't come out rusty. That's one thing about bye weeks that always concern me. It's coming out rusty. But I know this was probably one of the. When I saw it initially on the schedule, I was like, oh, early bye. But then with the injuries that we had, I was like, thank
Hmm.
God we had an early bye.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
that I do agree. I think Washington was just, that was, you always being around Dan Quinn from when I was covering the Falcons. He's a good rah rah dude,
yeah,
and I think what he did last year, he got the troops together. They were fired up, and a lot of them played way better than what their skills were. And I mean, he has talent. Don't get me wrong. That's a talented team. But I just think they play above and beyond. And I think this year they're going to be more back down to earth. Um, so I think this is a perfect opportunity to win. I'm one taking it game by game. I think this is a game that we can win, that we should win. It's just if the Bears believe in them as much as if the players believe as much as in themselves as I believe in them and what they can, I believe they should be fine.
yeah. Now I've heard the media make much to do about our schedule and who we got our wins against. But everybody's beat the Raiders except New England.
Who?
And
Wait, I'm glad you said it. But who did they just beat?
there you go. Yeah, that's where I'm going. And
Mhm.
we held Dallas to 14 points. They've been scoring 30s and 40s ever since.
And who did they score 40 on?
Green Bay,
Eh, Who was supposed to be the what?
best defense in the league.
Okay, so
Listen,
yeah, they killed me with that.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but they're going to fix this narrative to make themselves feel like they're right, especially when it comes to talking down on the Bears. That's why, that's another reason why I'm so anxious for us to prove these people wrong. Because Washington beat the Giants and the Raiders, lost to the Falcons, and the Chargers quit.
Mhm.
So, what are you saying? Now, granted, the way we lost these first two games, I think are the most humiliating ways to lose games, you know, that you can in football. One, by allowing a team that is not better than you, especially at the time, to come back and take over a game that you have full control of for at least for at least 3.5 quarters. Then secondly, just to go to Detroit, get the doors blowed off. All right, let's go to 50. Those are two terrible ways to lose football games.
I
Yeah.
agree.
At the end of the day, we bounce back, regardless of who the opponent is. We bounce back and we've evened up the schedule. Now, they say Washington's so great, or Jaden Daniels is great, whatever, because of his numbers or whatnot. But they won games without Jaden Daniels last year, and they won games without him this year. So it says more about the team. He's just a quarterback. But I digress. I think
Well,
we're gonna be. Go ahead, T. Fields.
my bad. I was going to say, but I think, I never would want to make excuses for the Bears or for any teams, but I feel like when we played Minnesota, we act like that was Minnesota from last year, and that's typically a lot of game ones, the first game of the season. You're playing off the mentality that that team's going to play like they did last year. So it's like, okay, that fear. So you kind of play. I don't want to say goofy, but you play like it's almost preseason. Like you're still going through the motions of, oh, your play calling and things of that nature. Because again, you're still thinking you're playing Minnesota from last year.
Yeah.
Detroit, which and this is going to be a telltale this Monday for the Bears, is that revenge
Hmm.
game. Oh, they wanted Ben Johnson bad, and they were going to do. I think when we play Detroit again, it'll be more of a, okay. It's now the emotions are kind of gone out of it. Now we're gonna play normal because they wanted Ben Johnson. They wanted his head bad, and I think that's what they showed in that game, is that they wanted Ben Johnson. And you can and both being rival games, they tend to go. They always like haywire anyway when you're playing within your division. To be the telltales when you're playing outside of your division, and again, Dallas, you only play who is in front of you anyway. But like you said, Dallas threw up 40 some points against the alleged best defense in football in in our biggest rival. But they don't really talk about that, or the Raiders. I mean, we play what's in front of us. So this
Yeah.
is yeah.
Like I said, that's why, bro, I'm not issuing no apologies or making no excuses of why we win games. I think that's
Yeah.
asinine and that's crazy. You know, the media, national media, Chicago media, they're doing things to downplay, what's happening here. And I guess that's a part of the job, to come up with these narratives or whatnot. But come on, man. We two
And
and two. Could have easily been 3-1. You know, could have easily been could have easily been I ain't gonna say 4-0, but could have easily been 3-1.
Yeah.
Then what you gonna say?
Should have been.
Yeah, allowing 50 points versus Detroit. Crazy. Insane. But Detroit has been putting it up against everybody, man.
Mhm.
Against everybody. They're just one of those teams. Now, it doesn't matter if, especially early on in the year, it doesn't matter if they throw a 50 or you lose by a point. It's still only one loss.
Mhm.
So, and it looks like these guys understand that. Whereas the last year, they probably would have quit on their coach and we probably be on four. Just being honest,
Yeah.
because coaching was so shaky. The whole staff was shaky. And speaking of staffs, I think that's one great thing that DC had over us, especially last year.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of former head coaches over there that's been pretty successful during their time of coaching. Um, but now we kind of even up the score that we've got guys that actually played the game, very successful coordinators that come from other squads. You know, Ben Johnson should have a chip on his shoulder because this is the team that kept him from going to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Listen, it's a lot of factors that if we stack it up, we is the reason why we can't just go into this thing as just another game. You just can't. Just can't. You know, and players, you know, they say that it's very cliche, but I'm calling BS, bro. If I was sitting in their conference room, I call it out, man. It's BS. It's BS. You know, and I'm at home feeling like that. If none of these players feel like that, if none of these players that suit up in the Bears uniform feel like this is a game that, you know, we got to get to it in a major way, they need to stay home, bro. They need to stay home because you can't like having guys playing on your team like that. That's not, you can't get no success out of that, dog. You just can't. Miss Cheryl putting us on Cubs and Brewers at 8 o'clock. I guess they starting to get it on right now. Come on, Cubs, give us another one, man. Let's push
I
these.
think
Yeah.
it's a,
Let's push
think
these
it's
guys to the brink. Shout out to the people checking us out. Shout out to the chat. Hope you guys come on in here. Let us hear what you think. If you're new, if you're new to what you see, please like and subscribe. You know, we have a lot to offer. We have a lot of opinions, a lot of perspective on the Bears. We are Bears fans, and this show is for Bears fans. And we love talking Bears, and we love to hear the fans. Or if you're not a fan, we love to hear your opinions. If you're a football fan, we love to hear your opinion about this game or any other game that's going on this week. There is actually a game going on right now, or about to go on right now. Eagles and Giants, another divisional game for that's played this week. You know, Eagles are under a lot of controversy. They're the most
Yeah.
controversial winning team I've ever seen. I mean, you know, I understand it, but then again, I don't. You know, you form one. If it's broke, don't fix it. Now they
Yeah.
got some other issues that no one's talking about, and that's probably because they're form one. But the offense is a big deal because of the guys involved. And Saquon's having a down year, but listen, anything under 2,000 was going to be down for that guy. So, you know, it's only a matter of time. But they say he's nursing some injuries, or he has some injuries that's not really been talked about, and explains the fact that he didn't carry the ball that much last year. We'll see. But the main issue is the quarterback and wide receiver relationship with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. Now, I've been critical of Jalen Hurts. Never said he was a bad quarterback. You know, never said that he was, trash, but I just didn't think he was a top 10 quarterback.
No.
I just didn't think so. You know, throwing the football. But now, if you want to base it off of now, it's guys that's hurt, guys that's not played enough games to even be in the conversation. So if we talk about it now, we have to put him in there. But beginning of the season, he was not a top 10 quarterback for me. But the guy, I love the way he approaches the football game. I love the way he approaches games. And, you know, I love his cool demeanor. I love his demeanor as a quarterback. He doesn't ever look rattled. He never looks broken or shaken. You know, he always keep things cool and make those guys feel like the environment is stable. So I love his approach, but as a thrower of the football, I just was not a fan. Now he's had some games where he's thrown for over 300, two
Mhm.
ninety, 280, 260. Cool, but he's had a lot of games where, you know, at halftime he's only throwing 14, 15 yards. You know what I mean? He's a guy that's been
Mhm.
he's a guy that's been on the Eagles team, that this team has been very successful even when he's not playing well. So that tells you about the whole lot about them. But I'm skeptical of the Eagles as far as the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, they got some guys, they got some names, they got a bunch of Bulldogs over there. Jordan Davis, uh, the young man that was supposed to be over here with us,
Yeah.
he got
Yeah,
in some
Carter,
trouble. Carter,
the Kobe
but
Dean.
yeah, the Kobe Dean. He's not, but Carter's not playing tonight. He got
No,
he has a hammy, and I think he has some other issues too. I think he needs to get himself in a little bit more shape. And we seen how he was game one, spitting on people and all that. You know, those are things you got to check at the door. But he's a very good player. But I don't feel I totally respected the fact that Ryan Poles wanted to go into another direction when it came down to drafting him. But
no, I agree. I agree, especially with
yeah,
that team.
yeah. You know, Philly has a very good squad, but defensively, they got listen, they're a team that could be 2-2. They could be just like us.
Yep.
But you know, luck has been on their side. And you know, you play with skill, good luck happens sometime, and you know, that's what's happening so far. But it's looking like, you know, when you hear about players only meetings, player only meetings make me cringe, bro. I don't like the sound of them. You know, I think I've been on record of saying it a few times on the show. Player
Something,
only
but
meetings, and then this one lasted about 2 hours with these guys. What we talking about for 2 hours? And we 4-1. Like I don't get it. You guys got any thoughts?
I'm gonna take you back to when I was a kid. It reminds me of the 14-2 Bears. It just didn't feel like they were good. And I'm gonna say that was the '86 Bears, who
hmm
statistically had a better defense than the '85 Bears, but it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And the players started getting mad at the coach, at the coach. Like, oh, hey, we doing all of you told us don't do this and this, and then you got all these commercials and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it seemed like there started to be a divide. And again, it's being him. We haven't been on the winning side in a long time. I can't see why a 4-1 team can be bickering. And it scares me when AJ Brown's like, I can't get the ball through you 4-1.
I
I
think
you
he
know
I think he had a game of 2 receptions and 7 yards.
I get it. You want the ball, but I can't. But how do I tell somebody be like, I need to get more touches? But you want it, but yeah, I need to get more touches. It just seems too selfish, and that's sometimes a scary thing when you got too much talent.
Yeah. I was just about to say that's kind of like the price of fame when you got a loaded team like those guys got over there. What
Yeah.
you think, Jim?
Sitting here trying to think about like listen to a Michael Irvin podcast today.
hmm
He was saying that he was injured and when he didn't know if he wanted to go out there and they said, well, the defense don't know you're injured. Get back out there, be a decoy. I think that's what Brown is, even if he's not getting the ball, you got to be out there to, get that defense, if nothing else, man, you got to, block for your team and be a decoy if nothing else. If you're not getting the ball that night, you got still got to play hard.
Yeah. And it's something to say. A lot of these great coordinators, it's deeper than just the X's and O's of the game. Like there has to be a form of trickeration or a form of deception to allow some of these plays to go like they go, to have a high success rate. And to your point, having a decoy is one of those things that sometimes has to happen. Even the best have played decoy, just for the name of for the name of the win, right? So,
Yeah.
it's a necessary thing, but I get AJ because his position is predicated by numbers. Winning is a quarterback stat. We all know that. Um,
Should
anybody
be.
that's anybody that's in denial of that, you know, look it up. Look it up. It's a quarterback stat. You know, these guys like receive. Okay, just imagine the pace that AJ Brown is currently on. When it's time to go to the table and talk contract, he's gonna get low ball. He's not gonna get his worth.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, and then you know, you have talks of him being in the Hall of Fame and things of that nature. He's just not going, you know, he's not going to get his love based off of low numbers. Now, of course, it is a sacrifice, but you're going to sacrifice a Hall of Fame career for a ring, and some players have done it.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure, you know, in the back of their mind, they're feeling like they wish they didn't.
He signed a 3-year, $96 million extension last year with the Eagles. So,
Hmm. Yeah, that's last year, and that 3 year
yeah,
deal, that 3 year deal opens him up for another opportunity for a big one, but
sure.
he not gonna get that. He not gonna get another one with them numbers on the pace he's on. They ain't paying that. Maybe somebody else will, but nah, I don't think they gonna pay that, bro.
I mean, do you feel like he was before all of this was on a Hall of Fame projection?
Oh, most definitely.
I,
Now,
the reason why I say that is because I just feel like it is just so many great wide receivers that have came to the NFL that are
hmm
nowhere near Hall of Fame quality, from Terry Glenn to I'm drawing a blank here. And then I don't want to miss it, like Mushi Muhammad, David Boston.
Torrey
Um,
Holt.
did he make it though? He hasn't made it yet. Or
yeah,
did he
No,
make
he'll
it?
be in there. He'll definitely be in
Yeah.
there
we
because
think
he had the numbers plus he won.
we thought he might go in
Yeah.
this year, maybe, but
Antonio Freeman. I mean, just Robert Brooks. I think I just named two Packers. Amari Cooper. Like it's just that's one position to me. Keenan McCardle. It'll keep popping up in my head because
Hmm.
it's that's just a Eric Miles. Eric, what was his
Eric,
name? The
yeah,
dude from
Eric
Buffalo.
Mose,
Eric
Eric
Moses.
Mose,
Yeah, Eric.
yeah.
Yeah. Joe Horn. I mean, he besides the telephone thing, he was a
Well,
good receiver.
Joe had some other issues before he came to Atlanta that he left in New Orleans, man. He had some other
Yeah,
issues, man. Joe was tripping, bro. But
yeah.
you know, but
Who was Houston's wide receivers with Warren Moon? Uh,
oh, Ernest Givens,
mm-hmm.
Curtis Duncan,
They had somebody named Hill too, didn't they?
yeah, Drew Hill,
Drew Hill, yo.
yeah, Drew. But see, this is where you know things that, and I'm glad you brought this up. This is where you have to find that fine line between winning and you know still being able to make an imprint. You know, outside of injury, AJ Brown has had 1,000 yards every year. Outside of 1 year, he was injured. He played
Mm,
13 games and had 869 yards. So he was on this pace to get over 1,000. You know, then too. You know, he's been to the Super Bowl twice with the Eagles.
mm-hmm.
Has one win. If he keeps the pace up, is what I'm saying. You know, if
Yeah.
we stop right here and he retires tomorrow, will he be a Hall of
No,
Famer? No.
no.
But he's thinking beyond that. He's 28 years old.
Mm.
So I'm thinking he may feel like he got another 7 years in him, you know, to really, you know, plant his flag. But in 4 or 5 games, fellas, he got 194 yards.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Did they actually pass for a lot of yards in the last game? Didn't Jalen Hurts pass for like close to 300?
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah, he did.
So who was getting it? The little guy?
Number 6
Yeah.
and the tight end.
Alabama. What was it, Smith?
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. Roll
He,
Tide.
yeah, he's very good. He's very good.
Yeah.
He's
I ain't
very
gonna lie. I
good.
was skeptical coming of him coming out of college because I thought he was too short, but he's definitely improved. He definitely
Yeah,
proved that I was wrong when it came to
yeah.
evaluating him.
He's so thin, man. You
Man,
see him? He's thin, man. He's a
yes.
skinny guy.
I was like,
Yeah.
yo, there's no way he gonna survive. And he did nothing but survive and plus.
Yeah, Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley was the beneficiaries of Jalen Hurts 200 yard, 240,
Eh,
280 yard game.
Okay. And I just feel like, and with Saquon, I just feel like that's the only way we can get these running backs going this season.
That's the formula, bro. That's what got
Yeah.
you there. That's what got you there. And you have to dance with the girl you brought to the party. Shout out to Scrolls. Scrolls says AJ Brown acting like somebody's auntie. Come on, man. Don't do him like that, Scrolls. That
And
man want to
that's,
maintain them numbers, man. That man got 194 yards in 5 games, bro. He can't see nobody Pro Bowl like that, man. He can't come to the table for the money, asking for the money with numbers like that. Somebody will find a reason to keep him out the league for numbers like that, bro. Say he washed up.
Yeah.
But if you watch
Gabe will be right in a
AJ,
heartbeat.
if you watch AJ play, you can clearly see that he still has it in him. But I think he needs to tighten up though. He needs to fix his attitude, because one bad apple can ruin the bunch, bro. So I
Hmm.
think, whatever he's feeling, I think he need to explain it to the team and his teammates and let it be that. The actions that he show, all the things about reading a book on the sideline and, body language is a big thing, bro. And from what I understand, him and Hurst don't have the best relationship. I don't think they're really, what I'm saying, they cool like that. But you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Long as you keep the main thing, and maintain your integrity as far as playing the game,
But
you can still maintain some. You still have some success.
see, this is with the AJ Brown situation, and I'm glad it's not happening here so far. Is that's always been my scary thing when you try to add too many receiver weapons for a young quarterback. Because again, that is a position that act like divas, unfortunately. And every wide receiver is open and
Hmm.
every receiver wants the ball.
Yeah,
And with all the pass catching weapons that the Bears have, everybody numbers are going to be down across the board if they spread the ball around.
yeah,
Like everybody's favorite quarterback here on Chicago sports, Mr. Love in Green Bay. No.
yeah. Hey, man, I'm
But no,
not shying
seriously.
away.
But seriously, but if you, I mean, we were without Cortland, what's his name, Loveland, without
Yeah,
but if you bring him back, then you still got okay. Now we got two catching tight ends who
yeah,
are both a good receiver tight ends, and we got we got the kids, we have the rookie that we need to get more involved. It's just to me, it's a headache,
yeah,
and that's why we've been my concern about having too many receivers. This is not the fun gun or how it used to be where
yeah.
Warren Moon, like I said, just dropped back. He didn't have a running back. So they didn't take him.
Oh, he
Mm-mm.
had he had one. He had one.
Yeah.
He was very good. He didn't get a lot of fanfare.
What was it,
He
32?
he,
What
he
was his
no,
name?
number 44. White. Lorenzo White.
Like
Yeah,
Lorenzo
Lorenzo
White.
White's pretty good. Lorenzo
Yeah.
White's pretty good, but in that run and shoot, bro. I remember when they brought the run and shoot to Atlanta, man. T Fields, I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember that.
I was there, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was them MC Hammer too legit to quit days.
Yeah. I know it
Yeah.
was fun. Andre Rison, Bad Moon
Yeah,
Rising.
yeah, yeah.
Who's the other one?
Is
Yeah.
he
Michael, was it Michael Haynes? Haynes?
Yep.
rising in
Haynes?
the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Nope.
That's another one of those receivers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, these guys judge the NFL judge the Hall of Fame a little differently because you got to kind of keep things clean on and off
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah.
field. Rising was hella controversial, bro.
Didn't help that his
Scrolls, you think
fiance
he gonna
burned
be
out his
demanding
house.
a trade, Scrolls? I don't think so, bro. I think he gonna hold it down, man. But yeah, the NFL they very picky about who they allow in, man. I wish the NBA would incorporate that into their league as well, man. Because nowadays it feels like anybody's getting in,
Yeah.
and
You
I
talking
just
about
don't think
basketball?
Yeah, the Hall of Fame
But
should
see,
be a creme de la creme, bro.
it should
You
be, and
know,
I think with the and I keep I don't defend basketball Hall of Fame, but I always got to bring it up. If not the NBA Hall of Fame, it's
right? That's
basketball Hall
true.
of Fame.
That's true.
So that's why I feel like something like, okay, how did this dude get in here? It's a resume throughout basketball period versus just the NBA, and so I always think that, but because I agree with Prime, I think it's too many NFL players now that make the Hall of Fame. It's certain positions.
Yeah.
Like,
You
okay,
know,
the biggest debate is Eli Hall of Famer.
Mhm.
I don't think so. I don't think Joe Namath is a Hall of Famer, and
me
he's in there
neither.
already.
I don't. And on the Eli question,
But he beat the GOAT
oh,
twice.
I don't think so either. But I think he's going to get in there.
Yeah,
You know,
his name for
the
one.
name's
Yeah,
gonna get him in there, and he had two very impressive victories against what people consider the best team in the history of the NFL, and that's
yeah,
the New England Patriots.
yeah.
So
Can you
The
imagine
undefeated ones.
Brady would have 9 rings?
If
Can
Eli
you
right.
wasn't
imagine
born,
him? It'd be crazy.
Hey, as I watch this game, as I take a look at this game, Jackson Dart is willing and dealing out here, man.
I
You
like
know,
him.
yeah, he's a little erratic, but I think he needs just, I think they'll get the keep their hands on him and allow him to stay the course. But he's a little erratic, but I think that's what the Giants need, man. They need somebody that can give him a jolt of energy, man, because it's been looking bland before he got in there, man. It was bland, man, and the players
but
all
what?
felt it, and he just
But
brings
what?
a new source of energy.
Yeah.
What about
You
Danny
think that
Dimes?
you think the Giants are feeling bad? They get rid of Saquon one year, you win the Super Bowl. Next,
Mm-mm,
they get rid of Daniel Jones, and he's balling out in Indy. You think
mm-mm.
the Giants front office is sitting there scratching their head right now? Oh man,
Nah, I think the only thing they may be hurt about is that when they had an opportunity to trade him,
yeah,
that the owner, upper management told them that they couldn't do it.
hmm,
Like losing. Listen, every team is gonna lose great players.
sure,
Mhm.
And Saquon was inconsistent as far as being in the lineup. He stayed hurt a lot. He stayed injured. And when it's time to come up and pay that big bucks, you don't want to pay anybody that's
yeah.
highly injured. So Jackson Dart just ran that thing in, man.
Ooh,
Very swaggy, very swaggy. I respect him. Very
yeah,
swaggy. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a good job so far. Hopefully he can
So,
maintain it and beat the Eagles. But now the thing about Indiana Jones, when
I like that
everything
about him.
when everything was lined up for them, for the Giants, everyone was healthy. They actually went in and won a playoff game.
Against Minnesota. Yeah, they look good
Yeah,
too.
they went in and won a playoff game. But they could never get the consistency with Jones on the field because he didn't have a lot of consistency as far as players in the lineup. Now that's not making an excuse for him because he did look bad a lot of times. But some other times the players look bad around him. In this situation, he's with a team that has what he needs. He needs somebody that can run the football consistently, that can pose a threat running the football. He has a great young tight end there. You know what I mean? Somebody that he doesn't where he doesn't feel like he has to do everything. With the Giants, the weight was on him. Regardless of who was in the lineup for him, he had to be the guy.
Yeah,
And with the Colts, it's not like that. Shout out to Mr. Espinosa. Bear down to your brother.
they're down.
And for you guys watching wherever you like watching from, and you guys in the chat, give your opinions about, you want to talk about the Bears game on Monday night or just talk about what's going on in the league. Please share it with us. We want to hear what you guys got to say. So I don't think they feel bad. I think it's just one of them things. Because how long are we gonna stick with this situation that just ain't working?
But that's why I have a question because when you are, is the evaluation time for quarterbacks too short? And I say that because of the teams that Baker Mayfield has played with, Sam Darnold has played with, Jared Goff has played with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that it's like okay, they struggle here and they were thrown into the mix right away.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they leave, then it seemed like it finally clicks for them. Whereas to me, you have uh the Patrick Mahomes who sat for a year, Jordan Love who sat for a couple of years, that whole team, Aaron Rodgers sat for years, and so on. Do you think that when you throw a quarterback out there in that fire, that either they're not going to succeed with you, you're going to succeed with another team, or we just not, you know, I don't know. I guess I don't know football questions to be honest, but it's just like, are we the evaluation time? Is it too short? I think that's what it is.
I don't I don't necessarily think it's too short, but I think certain guys are thrown in the fire to see for these organizations to actually see what they have in the player. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So they can kind of know what they need to do as far as adding on to get the best out of this player.
Hmm.
Now some of these guys, and they like Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and there's some others we can name that
Jared
didn't have,
Goff.
don't. Yeah, Jared Goff. There was a level of maturity that they had to gain. You know, there was a level. Now, the Jared Goff situation was a thing where Jeff Fisher wanted to play a certain type of way and did not want to adapt to the talent that he had on team. You know, and you get it. You used to get a lot of that too. I don't think that's
Yeah.
that's 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 very as relevant as it used to be. But you get a lot of that, guys. Instead of you watch film for a whole year of this guy with plans of taking him number one. Every film you watch shows his strengths and weaknesses. And instead of rolling with that, you want to get him in and just forget everything that you've evaluated him on and start him on something different. It's kind of unfair to that player. It's kind of unfair to him now. Some guys just ain't got it. You know, we got to say that too. Some guys just ain't got it. But the Sam Darnolds, the Baker Mayfields, especially Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield showed you those first couple years in Cleveland that he had something
Mhm.
for sure. Now, could you put him on the level of being a Hall of Famer or anything like that? Could you call him great
No.
right away? No, but he has some skills that you can build on. And the unfortunate part of football, outside of playing it on the grass and going up against a great defense, when you a great offensive player, sometimes the politics of the game kick in,
Yeah.
and then you get these rumblings. Oh, he just don't want it. He just don't got it. Oh, he's immature. Oh, he's this. He's that. Instead of being honest and saying, we didn't really put him in the best position to be successful. Now, saying all that and correlating it to a guy like Justin Fields.
Mhm.
Now, Justin Fields' first full year as a starter, no one held anything against him because number one, he was being coached by a guy who wanted to coach his way and didn't want to again adapt to what he had. Number two, he didn't have a whole lot to work with. But what these guys want to see is how you conduct yourself and how you carry yourself on the field when you don't have a whole lot to work with.
Mhm.
So we can see what we have in you. Now, the next year you seen DJ, Cole Komet, come around. But you didn't you seen the team add on a little bit more, but you didn't see what you need to see from a passing standpoint from Justin.
Mhm.
What you knew he can do is hit the one read, and you also knew that he can run. And that's what he did the whole year. But the unfortunate part of him running is that he ended up injured.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that love it, including myself, just love the fact that he actually made Chicago Bears football exciting in a way that we have never seen it before, where it just wasn't
Hmm.
predicated on defense or a running back. It was the electrifying quarterback who can run, who actually had a nice arm. And
Yeah.
DJ Moore, of course, loved him because, like you just said, that first read he hit.
Oh yeah, he can hit that now.
So not DJ Moore. So so he loved it, but I wanted him to succeed. I mean, not because he has a great last name and he's from Georgia, but you know, I wanted him to succeed. But what about Pro Bowler? Well, I'm sorry, I'll let Jim finish that up.
I was just going to touch on something he said, the evaluation process. You got that rookie contract window, right, from a quarterback. And now, when they get their first big contract, it's 40 mil almost, 50 mil
Mhm.
some cases. So if you're still struggling like the Bears were with Fields, you had to make that choice, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
There you
And I
go.
was at I was at Fields' last game in Chicago against Atlanta, and he balled out against Atlanta
yeah.
and snowy Soldier Field, and the crowd QB1, QB1. When I walked out of there, I said, "There's no way we're getting rid of him." And
I felt the
then,
same way.
yeah, 6 rounder. A couple months later, we traded him for a 6 rounder. So it's like, wow. Uh, but yeah, that window is really tight, man. And
Yeah.
I think we made the right move, honestly. Now that looking
Hmm.
back, but at that time, I was like, man, if we take those two number ones that we had coming up and pair them with Field, you know, you know, I was excited about that too. I wouldn't have been mad, but I think we made the right.
And
Yeah.
I was one of the rare people that wanted to keep Justin Fields. I said if it didn't work, I mean,
Yeah,
draft Caleb Williams and keep Justin Fields, and if it didn't work, then bring in Caleb Williams. Because I just have a hard time throwing a quarterback out there week one.
yeah,
If Especially when you don't try to dumb down your offense, or you don't do like what they did with Daniels and Washington Kingsbury fit to his skill set, to
Hmm.
his knowledge. And if you don't do that, then not I hate the wrong quarterbacks out there. Let them put the headset on and read the plays and learn the plays that way until he's ready to get out there. But I mean, again, like I said, that's just my opinion. But we got one more question about a Bears quarterback, and that's Mr. Pro Bowler himself, Mr. Trubisky.
it's
Hey man.
Pro Bowl
Like I,
alternate.
Pro Bowl alternate. There you go.
Yeah,
And I actually shot that game. I was at that Pro Bowl he played in, and I was just like watching the Pro Bowl and knowing how lighthearted that game is. I was like, how is this dude in the Pro Bowl? He's throwing incomplete passes to these dudes that's wide open. If you go back and watch that Pro Bowl, I granted it was pouring down rain. It's probably one of the worst experiences I had. I had to go to Walmart and buy a whole new set of clothes because all my clothes was ruined because it rained so
Man.
hard. But
you know what I
that
remember
was
about Trubisky the most? 2018 week 5 against
Tampa
Tampa
Bay.
Bay.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay was destroying everybody for the first 4 weeks, and he come out and throw 6 touchdowns. If I'm not
354
mistaken, in the
yards.
first half. And then on our way to that 2018 season. But that's what I remember about him the most is that game. Like, wow. And then
Yeah.
he went down the field, right down the field against the Eagles, put us in the spot for that double doink that
Yeah.
broke my heart.
Yeah.
And see, that's
Yeah.
why. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead, TV. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say because in that Super Bowl, I just felt like he could have been coached up because, like you said, the double doink game, he threw for 300 yards in that game, no
Hmm.
interceptions, and I'm like, this dude. I guess that still was based off the Tampa Bay game. Like, oh my God, we got a quarterback. I feel like T.O. That's my quarterback. So I was like, oh my God, when
Yeah.
do we ever remember a quarterback throwing 6 touchdowns for the Bears
Now, see,
without looking it up?
when it came down to Mitch, it was a thing where number one, Mitch was robotic. Mitch
Hmm.
always played like he had a battery in his back. And when his battery went low, so did he. You know, he was a guy that when everything's going well, he's confident. But if you do anything to shake, he was easily shaken. He was easily broken. And I didn't hold it against him the double doing. I blame all that on the kicker. And I
Yeah.
blame it on the conservative manner of the coach as well.
Hmm.
Because Mitch was another guy. One read, hit
Bam.
it. Robinson, hit it. Now, if they devise a play where he can buy some time, like on play action and stuff like that, and he had a deep shot, because I think the best ball he ever threw was the ball to Williams in New Orleans that got dropped in that playoff game. That was the
Yeah.
best ball I ever seen Mitch throw in life.
Mm.
And we couldn't get a celebration from it because the guy dropped the damn touchdown.
Mm.
But again, shout out to the chat, shout out to the people watching. Got some special news, got a special announcement to make. Wind Creek Casino will be the spot for Chicago Sports Podcast on Monday night. Jim Miller, our partner in crime, Brandon Trax Hyatt, and some more of the Chicago Sports Podcast community. There's a few more guys that's gonna be there. They're gonna be in the building. Need you guys to come on out. Support the campaign. There's gonna be a special guest there. And the special guest is going to be, drum roll please, yours truly.
Nice.
I'll be in the building, Wind Creek, Chicagoland Casino. I will definitely be in the building Monday night on Wind Creek. To watch the Bears, to talk the Bears with Jim Miller and Brandon Trax Hyatt. And
Nice.
we're gonna talk the Bears up to a win, man. So if you guys can come on out, support the campaign, man. We gonna need it. The Bears gonna need it. We gonna need everybody in
Yeah.
attendance. We're gonna cheer these guys on. We gonna talk good. We gonna talk real. Shout out to Jim Miller. We gonna get the player perspective, which is always nice. And shout out to Trax.
Yeah.
Raul, shout out to you. But yeah, that's the announcement I wanted to make. I waited a full hour to make it, but you know, I'm making that announcement. And the Giants is up 13-3, man. Jackson Dart is doing his
Oh,
thing, bro. Jackson Dart is throwing some darts, and the
I be
Eagles are
scared of them.
feeling the Eagles are feeling the threat of their players only meeting, man.
oh yeah.
This is what players only meeting get you, bro. Especially when it was only three players having the meeting, dog. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, I got a shout out.
Go for it.
Shout out to Mike Singletary, number 50. Happy 67th birthday.
Yes,
The
indeed. Shout out to him.
Samurai.
Shout out to Samurai Mike.
Can't
Shout
play
out to
with them.
Sam.
Can't
Yeah,
coach it. Can't do it.
yeah, yeah. That's him. Man,
I
as a
wonder why.
kid, man.
I always
Go ahead.
wanted him to come be D coordinator or something for Chicago, man. I really did, but he
Yeah.
never did.
Yeah, man. It's just something about, the greats that come in and do their thing, man. It's a little scary for me when you put them in those coaching when you put them in those coaching situations, bro. It's scary for me.
Yeah.
Now Mike did a pretty good job in San Francisco. Of course,
Oh yeah.
Harbaugh took over and changed the complexion, but he held guys accountable. He did what coaches are supposed to do. But I think his style didn't match the outcome and I guess the play didn't match his style. The outcome didn't match his coaching style, and he eventually lost the team. His voice got stale. All that rah rah got stale because guys wasn't inspired. There wasn't a lot of buy-in over there. And his voice got stale. And he ended up getting up out of there. But yeah, shout out to Samurai Mike. And I wish the Bears, man. I really wish those guys would retire Mike Singletary's jersey because
Yeah,
as much as I love Grady Jarrett, he has no business with that jersey
no,
on, bro. He has no business with that on. And the Bears, they run out of numbers to retire, I guess, but Mike Singletary and Richard Dent are two numbers that should be retired, bro. I don't care
I
what's
agree.
going on. I
I
don't care
agree.
what's going on. Those guys, true pillars, man. And
So
great,
you didn't like
great
you didn't
players.
like you didn't like to see Jim Morrissey when he was wearing 51?
I didn't like Morrissey in
No,
51.
no.
Not at all. Like I didn't like to see some of the guys that were they put Shane McClellan in 50. You remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like it just seemed like now, maybe I'm feeling this way because a lot of the guys that don the 50 jersey didn't have great production here. But I just feel like y'all put anybody in that jersey, man. And
All
for
right.
a D lineman to have that jersey, man, you tripping.
Yeah.
How you tripping, bro? Like, come on, man. I just don't like that.
I want to ask Grady, why did he choose 50?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I have a thing like because the Bears have an issue where they can't retire jerseys anymore because I mean they have several other players who number could retire, including to be
mm-hmm,
Devin Hester. But I think they need to have unretired everybody's number and honor them, like with the patch like they have because
yeah,
Virginia McCaskey patch is huge, and
mm-hmm,
God rest his soul. If they could do something like to that effect to me, where you honor like Mike Singletary with 50 on the patch, and you honor Walter Payton with 34, I wouldn't mind seeing some of these numbers retire, especially the Bronco Nagurski's numbers. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I mean, all the cool numbers, the low numbers, retired.
And they not
And
allowing nobody to wear zero.
no,
Nobody wear
why
zero.
is it? Why is that?
Man, you know the organization, bro. These
Yeah,
folks be, what I'm saying, be tripping. But
I
shout out to
feel I,
Track. Track says, Samurai Mike says hello to us, man. He called and wished him a happy birthday. So Mike Singletary gave us a shout out. That's a great deal. Shout out to
Nice.
you, Mike Singletary.
part of
Happy
the
birthday to you,
defense,
sir.
big and bold. I've been jamming for quite a while. Who still remembers the Super Bowl
You
shots?
still remember it,
I know
T-Bill?
I know word for word from the beginning of the song to where the
Oh
sweetness to
man.
you're looking at the fridge. I'm the rookie. I may be large, but I'm no dumb cookie.
Boy,
Yeah.
we used to watch that video, man. And that was the times where they had the VCR. You could just record it, record the
Mhm,
video, and just rewind to play it over and over again.
mhm.
Crazy,
And
crazy
trust that.
time.
That and the Bears Super Bowl video, I know it like the back of my hand. Which, by the way, people,
Man.
we talk about playing who you play on the schedule. The Bears played a lot of garbage teams that year. If you remember, they haven't basically only won like 2 games, and both games
Hmm.
against us, they almost beat the Bears and the 85 Bears.
But if you remember how that season started, bro,
Mhm,
that season started crazy
mhm,
because like the first game of the year, I think it was versus Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay was having their way. I'm talking about just like the defense look now.
mhm.
They were running all over the Bears, man. It just looked crazy.
38-28.
Steve DeBerg was the quarterback, and I think they
Mhm.
had I think Cobb was the running back, but he
Yep.
just ran crazy on the Bears. Like the Bears had a very slow start in that Super Bowl year, but they still end up pulling those games out. But
Because I think the 3 out of 4 of the first game they were comeback victories, including the win in
mm-hmm.
Minnesota when they put
Yeah.
Jim McMahon back in the game and paid that vicious block. But I don't
Yeah.
remember that. That was 9 years old.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, it was a really shaky start, but them guys, they found it. They
Mhm.
definitely found it.
I think it
They
was
found
that
it.
Cowboys game was to me a turning point of that defense as far as like, okay, nobody else is scoring on us because I think they beat the Cowboys 44-0. They turned around and beat
Yeah.
Atlanta the next week 36-0. And then after that, the teams was just you're not scoring them. You score a touchdown and that's it. That's all we give you.
Cause I think that year they played didn't they play the 49ers and the Giants that year?
Yeah, I
In the
take it back.
playoffs
Yeah,
here.
they played the 49ers 20 beat them 26-10. That's when they put
Mm-hmm.
Perry in the backfield for the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
with payback when they put Guy McIntyre, I want to say,
Yep.
it running back against the Bears the year before.
Yeah. Man.
Oh boy,
Now,
that good,
as
crazy.
much as I as much as though as much as that Super Bowl year meant to me, I'm really I'm really tired of talking about those guys, and I say that respectfully. I'm really
I,
tired of it. You know, we need to get another one, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
really, probably two or three, man. Because I don't care what anyone says. The NFL is great when the Bears are great.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
You know, and I'm not just saying that as a Bears fan, but the NFL is a better league when the Bears are playing great football.
I actually think all leagues, including basketball and baseball, are good when Chicago is doing well. And I
Yeah.
think, unfortunately, Chicago ownerships or management or whomever dwell on the past to try to be to distract us. Even with the Bulls, let's talk about the 6 championships. Let's have Derrick Rose Day. Let's not focus on what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
let's let's bring back Singletary, Otis Wilson, Richard Dent.
Yeah.
Let's honor the '85 Bears.
Yeah.
Instead of what about this year? What's going on with this year?
Yeah.
Can
And
we have
see,
more?
we need to give those guys something to be proud and excited about, man. A lot of the conversation that we get from those older, much successful teams is a lot of scrutiny. Even
Mhm.
from the '05, '06 Bears. You know, we didn't win a Super Bowl with those guys, but that was a hell of a group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we still get a lot of scrutiny from those guys. It's a few guys that come in and say some good things, but for the most part, we get a lot of stuff from them.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So we need to, as a team, going forward from 24, 25 on, we need to give these guys something to be excited and proud, what I'm saying, to be a representation of the Bears, man. The franchise, being a part of the Bears franchise and rooting for this franchise, it ain't enough no more. We're kind
Mm-mm.
of it's kind of dimming. That light's kind of dim, man, to the point where any team that's had some type of success within the last 5 years feel like they can say anything about us, man. These fans from these other teams, you know.
And that irked me. Like I would just say when I first was in Atlanta, and then the Carolina Panthers came about, and then within a couple of years, I don't know if it was Carolina or Jacksonville, they went to the
Hmm.
AFC or the NFC Championship game right out the back, and I'm like, can we just make the playoffs? Playoffs, you know? And I'm like, man, we deserve so much more. Like, why do we like? How do these other teams sustain the success and we're not? I just could never get it.
I
And then I see
definitely
people
get it,
say,
man.
"Oh yeah, yeah." I was saying back then,
I
and I'm
definitely
like,
get it.
I can't say that we cheat because we spent some money on a
Hmm.
wrong person. But I mean, oh, it was just. I don't. You know what? This will sound crazy. There's a certain period of the '90s where I don't even remember anything about the Bears. But like right after Dave Juan said,
Good
it's
for
like
you.
I just
Yeah.
don't. That
Good for you.
I just remember
Good for
Brian
you.
Cox and going to a Packer Bear game. And I said, I can't tell you running backs. I can't tell you nothing. But I think that's what it was. It's just like I think I finally got burnt out.
But I'm gonna tell you, T Fields, the '90s Bears.
I do
It
remember
was
beating
some. It was.
Minnesota.
It was some. You know, the Neil Andersons, the Brad Musters,
Hmm?
the Cap Bosos, like
Wow.
it was some things in there to be excited about, man. Alonzo Spillman. Um, it was the Mark Carriers. Like it was some things to be excited
I did,
about, and then we
yeah.
went into the '95s with the Kramers, the Bobby Ingrams, Rashawn Salams, and Raymond Harris's. You
Curtis
know that was
Conway,
Curtis Conway. There was the Ryan Wet Knights, and um, what's the guy that played at Notre Dame?
Robert Green. No,
No,
he
not
played.
Robert Green.
But I like him. He played at
Defensive
William
tackle.
Mary.
Defensive
Chris
tackle, man, out
George.
of
Chris
Notre
George.
Dame.
Chris
Chris
George.
George.
Yeah.
Chris George. Yo, it
They
was
had
some
Michael.
times, bro. Like, but
They had Michael Stonebreaker too. Didn't even know he played much with the Bears.
but that 99, 98, 97, the Cordell Stewart, Henry Burris.
Oh,
Ew.
terrible.
Ew, man. It was man.
And you
That's
know what?
tough to
I
watch.
used to hate. I used to hate Florida quarterbacks, and then it felt like the Bears used to get the Florida quarterbacks from like what Craig Kinzel to what was the other guy that they had? Did they have
Shane,
Danny Wolford?
Shane Matthews.
Shane Matthews. Yeah.
Shane Matthews, Rex Grossman. Um, Crimson went to Ohio State.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Crimson went, but
But there was another
it,
place though. I didn't like Ohio State quarterbacks.
yeah, but then they'll sneak a Chad Hutchinson on you. Chad Hutchinson starting Thanksgiving versus the Cowboys.
Now
Man,
did Peter Tom Willis go to Florida or Florida State?
who's that?
Peter Tom Willis. You remember him?
Peter Tom Wilson with the Florida State.
Okay, he went to Florida State. I knew he went to a
Mhm.
Florida school.
Yeah, like
And Chris Gardocki, shout out to Chris Gardocki, the kicker. He went to Reed and so did Kevin Butler.
yeah, Kevin Butler and Gardaki, they absolutely did. Hmm. But man, it's been some times, Aaron. You just think about from the Super Bowl until now. We've had probably about 35, 40 different quarterbacks, man.
Jim Harbaugh, Mike Tom's I
And
can't.
I love Harbaugh. I love Harbaugh as a Bears quarterback, by the way. Numbers wasn't super great, but I love him as a Bears quarterback because he wasn't afraid of Dicker. He
Mm-mm.
was not afraid of Dicker, man. There was some legendary clashes on that sideline, boy. One
I went
time,
to a go ahead.
I remember when they played Minnesota. This is when who had football on? I think this might have been Thursday night football or something like this, or I think TNT had NFL at one time. It
Mm.
was Harbaugh and the Bears versus the Vikings. We had things under control. Harbaugh just got so cocky though. He changed that play at the line of scrimmage and threw a pick six, bro. Bro, Mike Dicker exploded.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
exploded on that sideline, bro. So it's been some times, man.
yeah.
Rick Meyer, remember him?
Ah,
Did we give him a second round pick or a first round pick for him?
yeah. And I did
Yeah.
I did like Rick at Notre Dame. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I liked him. Like
Yeah, I
Notre
did
Dame
too.
had a lot going on for him, man, at that time. But the KB Nouns. Ooh.
Steve Stimstroms,
Yeah.
Moses Marinos.
Moses Marino.
Henry Burris.
Henry
Yeah.
Burris.
Oh,
Or remember we brought in Chris Chandelier Chris Chan.
Chris Chandler, yeah. Chris Chandler. Steve Sinstrom. It's been some names, man. Like we could talk all night about that alone, bro.
Chad Hutchinson. Did he come from Dallas?
Yeah, come on in, Doug. Uh-huh.
Jonathan Quinn. And Quinn was a
Uh
pickup.
JT
Well,
O'Sullivan.
Oh,
And I like JT, by the way. I love his content. You know what I'm saying? I love JT O'Sullivan's content. Love it.
or Caleb
Love it.
Haley. He was going to bring
Caleb
us to the Super
Haney.
Bowl.
Caleb Haney. Oh, that was
hmm.
man.
Well, let's not forget the little short guy that ended up having a lot of success in
Doug
Buffalo.
Flutie had his own cereal, Flutie Flakes. Flutie is the only quarterback, and now y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Flutie is the only quarterback to leave here and have tremendous success as a quarterback for another team.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
For not just for 1 year. We're talking about for a good period of time. He had his own series. He was the man at Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why I
Did
don't
you?
buy the narrative that Chicago ruins quarterbacks. That was some talk of that, and I don't like the ruin quarter. Like you cannot ruin a quarterback that's good. I'm sorry, he may struggle,
Yeah.
but he's going to go somewhere else and be good somewhere else. If you don't know how to treat him, somebody else does. And a quarterback that spoke that more than anybody was Mr. Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre in Atlanta, he was good at something. And that's partying, going down to Buckhead every night.
Yeah.
He was great at that. But when it came down and playing quarterback, he come in throw interceptions quick.
Question for the both of y'all. Who's the first quarterback y'all ever seen Bear quarterback? The first Bear game that you ever been to? Who was the quarterback?
Uh McMahon for me.
Okay. What about you?
McMahon. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was McMahon. Yeah.
Okay.
It was him.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
2011, January 17th, Jay Cutler versus Seattle Seahawks, game one of the playoff or
Oh
playoff.
wow.
Wow. Oh yeah.
That's my first game I ever went to as a Chicago Bear fan.
As a Bear fan, the first game I ever went to, the quarterback was former Chicago Blitz quarterback Vince Evans.
Mm.
Damn.
Doug Plank is coming. I just saw that somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. He's on the way. We waiting on him.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
But
Vince Evans was, and I remember about Vince Evans is that I was especially I went to the Chicago Blitz. I went to the USFL game too. Is that it felt like his passes was like 98 miles per hour. Like he threw some serious fastballs.
and of course we can't forget Jim Miller. We can't forget
Yeah,
him.
who I
And
still
Jim
argue is the
Miller,
best Bear quarterback that I've
listen,
seen.
shout out to Jim Miller. And when I see him, I'm gonna tell him like when I ran into Hugh Douglas, bro. I let him know how I felt about that cheap shot he gave you, bro.
And you know what? It's funny you said it because I actually was real close with Hugh, and
Okay.
when I was in Atlanta, because he knew I was a diehard Bear fan when he was at the 92-9 the game, and
Yeah,
every time he saw me, he brought up the whole hit on Joe Miller every single time. He's like, "Hey, how's your boy Jim doing?" I'm like,
yeah. I seen him at the apparel mart one time, and I let him know how I felt about that, man. He gonna do nothing but laugh.
yeah, no, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Still praying for him, because he lost his son last year.
Oh
As he,
wow.
as he with Morehouse.
Hmm.
Yeah, passed away in a single car accident. So
Hmm.
yeah, I
Wow.
always keep it lifted him and his family in prayer. But no, he's
Indeed, man.
definitely a good guy. Definitely a good guy though.
Yeah. And all he can say is, "Hey, man, my bad. I was just
Yeah,
doing my job. I was just doing my job."
yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
that
it's we
was
we've
that the
had our
playoff
time.
game.
We've had our time, man.
Yeah,
Here's trash right here. Yo, guess not. Okay, there you go. Correct. You got the speakers off. We
Dodgers
can't
and
hear you, brother.
Phillies. Oh, they in over. They in the extra inning.
Man, the Eagles with this tush push, bro, is
Hmm.
against the law, man.
I
All
like it. I
right.
like it when they did the fake out.
Yeah, that was cool.
These guys are clearly jumping off sides, bro. And they gonna do it 3 times, 4 times in a row, bro. That's why I don't like them, bro. I can't stand the Eagles, man.
But,
Come on, tracks.
touchdown Bears.
But yeah, man, we've had some times, but I think, listen, man, I think the quarterback thing is solved. A lot of people may disagree, but I think the quarterback
I agree.
situation is solved. The unfortunate thing about, the timing of us getting this number one pick at quarterback is that you had two guys in kind of back to back years be an anomaly and have these just incredible rookie seasons. And
But have they been since?
well, yeah, CJ struck. He found it last week, but
Oh yeah.
he struggled, you know what I'm saying, a lot last season. And Jaden Daniels, he's okay. He played well against San Diego. I mean, against the Chargers, but the other games that he played he wasn't very impressive. But but that's what they're holding. Though now, out of all the rookies that have played in this league, the standard that they're holding Caleb to is the Jaden Daniels and the CJ Stroud. They're not looking at the guys that's won MVP awards or been in the MVP conversation for the last few years. They're looking at these two guys and basing Caleb's quarterback play on those guys, which I think is the craziest thing ever. And it has to be because they're the same skin tone. It has to be. They all light skinned. It has to be. Because other than that, I don't understand why they do it that way. But
I mean, I can get the Jaden Daniels. They were 1 and 2, and that's like the Ryan Leaf Peyton Manning thing. Like you always compare 1 and 2 or well Eli Phillip Rivers. Well, it was like 1 and 4, 1 and 5, but they were the first two quarterbacks taken.
what they did, they just traded places. Philip and
Yeah,
Eli traded places. So,
yeah,
if you're a Giants fan, because Philip Rivers, I think if Eli's going to Hall of Fame, Philip Rivers should be there too.
yeah. And actually, that's what I meant to say when we were talking about that earlier. I definitely
Hmm.
feel like Phillip Rivers deserves it if he,
Yeah. And I think he'll
especially
get
the.
there. Guys like Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, I think those guys get in.
Yeah.
I think they get in. They just had too much. They didn't win the big game, but they had too much success for the franchises that they were part of. Like even when Phillip left and went to the Colts that year, there was a lot of success over there for him. He played very well, and the team played very well. So there's
Mhm.
something to say about that.
And I think my if Phillip Rivers need to make it just off of that was a 90-yard touchdown pass he threw against the Jaguars. He was screaming and walking. That I said he just need to make the Hall of Fame right off of that play
Yeah.
alone.
Phillip Rivers is another guy that I enjoy. I love the way he approached the game. I really
Mhm.
do. I love the way he approached the game because he came out there and he didn't duck no smoke. He was a dog. He was a dog from start to finish.
Well,
Like
what was the court?
even when he didn't have it anymore, he still brought a dog mentality.
Yeah, didn't he have to get carried like Byron Leftwich one time?
Yeah,
Remember when
Brown,
Leftwich had to get carried by
yeah,
by the guys? Didn't that
Oh
happen to
yeah.
Phillip Rivers too? Where he was hurt and he still was throwing. He still played.
yeah. Because he played with a torn ACL.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Hmm.
That
He
right
played.
there again.
He played with torn ACL, and he didn't play bad. Just didn't have a lot. He wasn't super mobile anyway, but his mobility was definitely it was definitely a question that game.
Yeah.
This looks like it's gonna be a good one, man. 17-13, going up to 6 minutes until halftime.
Nice.
But you guys got any predictions for our score? Now, for the record, I hate doing score predictions. I hate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for the context of the show, why not? Let's do it. Let's have a little fun. Jim, what you think, man? Give us a score. How you feel
I,
about it?
I was terrible in the Raiders game. I predicted 35-10 on that, so maybe I should stop predicting stuff. But Monday night revenge. Maybe we come fired up. 24th ranked defense. We're playing them. Do we get? You guys talk about Loveland? Is he coming back? I didn't.
Yeah, he's listed as questionable. From all from the way I feel about, I think he may come. I think he will be back. I think he will be back. I think he's ready to go. From what I've heard, now he's been
Yeah.
limited. These guys, a lot of these guys been limited in practice, but I feel like I think he's good to go.
24-20 Bears.
Mm. Go for it, T Fields. We all gonna do this, man. We all gonna lay it out on the line, bro. We all gonna put
That's.
it out there.
I think this is gonna be the big game where Caleb has that comeback drive to win the game. As the Bears pull off, I guess would be somewhat of an upset because they're the road team. 24-20, last last second drive touchdown to end the game.
Man. Hey man, listen. Can't go wrong, but I do know we're gonna score more than 15 points.
Yeah.
Now, the unfortunate thing, it doesn't seem like we come out with the same fire and the same intensity on the road like we have at home. Cause I'm telling you, man, that Minnesota week one was so refreshing for me to see those guys. The way we played, the fire we played with, for the first 3 quarters. That was refreshing for me, and that's why it hurt so bad to lose that game because you seen guys playing like the hell was on fire, man, and we haven't had that intensity on the road yet. What better time than this week? I'm gonna go out on a real limb, bro. I'm gonna say this, and y'all gonna laugh, but I'm gonna say Bears 31, Commander 17.
Hmm.
That's better on the heart rate than my
Yeah.
score.
Look,
Similar
I
to the.
don't listen. One thing when it comes down to these predictions, bro, I don't care about being wrong because these guys that get paid thousands of dollars to get on TV and lie to us every day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then
They lie
and
to
then
us
like I
every
said,
day. So listen, if they can lie to a million people, I'm sure I can lie to a couple hundred or a
What was
thousand.
Monday night game? The Jacksonville game versus
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Every analyst picked the Chiefs. I
Of
immediately went to
course.
DraftKings and put 20 on Jacksonville
Love it, man.
and won.
Love it, man. Love it. Another topic, man, and I'm getting kind of good at these controversial topics, getting a little scary. Um, T Fields has been riding shotgun with me on some of these controversial things. So, Jim, I'm putting you in the back seat, brother.
Uh,
You riding with me too.
okay.
Now, you guys might not agree, but this is just a controversial thing that I've kind of thought about, and I base it off what I've seen so far. Now, I hate to kick a man when he's down, but Jalen Johnson, our very good cornerback,
Oh,
people like to call him elite. I'm not a part of those people. I think he's a very good corner. I think he can be very good and still make Pro Bowls and still be all pro. I think you don't have to be elite to be an all pro. It's some very good guys that ain't elite that's made all pro. But I just don't think he stacks up within that top 5. I just don't think so. Now, technical wise, he got it. But he just doesn't do enough for me to consider him an elite corner. He just doesn't. Now, when we talk about the elite corners, you have Surtain and you got Stingley. Okay. Those two in a class of their own. These other guys, after that, you can shake them up and just roll them out there and put them where you will. But I think it's only 2 elite guys out there. I don't even think Sauce is elite.
Mm-mm.
Sauce ain't been the same since the rookie season. So, you know, that's just a conversation that I had. Two guys, hey, look, you guys are here with me, so y'all gonna catch the strays, but y'all can share your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Jim, you want to go first on that?
Ooh. You know, I really think. I mean, I like him obviously, but I think you're probably right. I, is he elite? I don't know. NFL says he is. All the
Mm.
shows I watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think I'm with you on that. I think that he's top 10, maybe
Yeah,
top
top
5. I don't
10.
know. Yeah, I don't think top 5. I think you're
Nah,
right.
nah, top 5, nah. Cause see,
But
when you top 5, that's what says elite for me, man.
oh yeah.
Like,
So what do you have? A 4-year, $76 million contract extension last year, right? So that's big numbers. That's elite cornerback numbers there. So
yeah,
is he living up to it so far? I don't know about that, man. Honestly, um, maybe not. He still got a chance, though,
and,
man. He comes back
I
this year.
listen. Now
I'm
I'm gonna
back
tell
on
you
the
something.
bandwagon.
Depending on how this Bears season goes,
Yeah,
there's a very good chance that he won't be with us next season.
yeah,
That's just the business of football, dog. I don't know nothing no more than y'all know, but just say lightning in the bottle happens. Excuse me, we win 10, 11, 12 game and him not on the field.
yeah,
Man, y'all done seen this happen before. Y'all done seen it
yeah,
before. You know, he can get traded for something we really need.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a conversation we can have about guys like a DJ Moore as well.
yeah,
Hmm.
Or anybody else that's in that receiver room. But I think DJ Moore he's the best guy right now, all around. I
hmm,
mean, Rome is the dude, but just far as from an NFL resume, DJ is the best guy. And he may garner some attention of some receiver hungry teams. And based off how this year goes, it's a chance that he won't be here.
Now,
I hope that ain't the case.
yeah,
Trade deadline's a month away, November 4th.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
If we're not, we play Cincinnati November 2nd. I'm gonna be there. And if we lose that, and I'm just hypothetically speaking here, and it looks
True.
like the season ain't going well. What do you think we make a move like maybe with the DJ Moore to a team that's right there on the cusp of competing?
I think DJ will be a move that's made after, like in the off season. I think if he's ever moved, I think it would be in the off season. I don't think it'll be a move made in season unless it's for like, okay, just to call out a name, unless it's for a Max Crosby or Tennessee want to help their young quarterback out. a guy like Jeffrey Simmons or something like that. Which now these are guys that teams ain't trying to get rid of, but the Raiders and the Titans are both sinking ships. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
as great as these guys are, play as far as players and defensively, they ain't winning no games for us. So hell, we can go 0 and we can go on whatever without you.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
we could be winning whatever without you. You know, because that's how the Raiders felt about Khalil Mack when they got rid of him. When we got him, they were like the bottom of the barrel defensively. Like, hey, we can do this without you.
But
Mm.
We can be bad without you.
you say the
So,
Giants are looking decent with Dart. Now they lost Malik Neighbors for the season, right?
mhm.
They're doing something. Do you think they could say, "Hey, Chicago, y'all ain't going nowhere"? What do you think for DJ Moore to help us? Some team like that. You know what I mean?
Well, the Giants ain't going nowhere either. So they're in a situation where I think they're gonna be a team they're gonna be picking in the top 10. So, they just gonna roll the dice on their high draft picks.
And that's the thing too. One thing I don't see it doesn't happen often in the NFL is player for player trades. It's always
Yeah,
players for picks. So I
very
think
rare.
last week I was saying about DJ Moore, but then I've been trying to pay attention to his body language on the sideline, or I should say 2 weeks ago, I was talking about getting rid of him. But I do see him as the leader, and I think right now with they still have a young wide receiver room. They probably would
Hmm.
keep him throughout for the rest of the season, and then possibly move him next season for a third, fourth round pick or whatever. Because one thing with when people wanted the Bears to give up the farm for Michael Parsons, I felt like the Bears are still they're not one player away,
Right.
and they
Yeah,
still need many bodies, but they need to start hitting a little bit more on these drafts. Late round,
Yeah.
they tend to do them decent, but they need to start hitting a lot more on these early picks in the draft. And they will probably try to get some capital because you have if you get rid of DJ Moore after this season, now you have a little bit more experience wide receiver room. You might bring these kids back on another year or two on a deal. Again, I feel like you don't need that many weapons. You need a couple of people who can catch the ball, not necessarily be stars on the team, but you just got to, I can catch it. You don't need everybody to be a star. This is not Madden. And
Yeah.
so and I think a lot of times I feel like some exec is the Jets who didn't want to make a trade because they didn't like the player Madden rating. I think it was the
Yeah, I
Jets.
heard that. I think it was
Yeah,
the Jets. I
yeah.
think it was the Jets.
Poor Justin Fields. It's just, but you can't have that much time. You got to get players that I hate to say fit your system because I still think you should always get the best player available, but you need to get a player that can probably adapt to your system. But
Hmm.
with the exception of that quarterback, like you need to get a quarterback. I mean, you can't force your quarterback into your system. I'm sorry, you got to play to their skill, not
Yeah.
necessarily try to. I'm gonna make Michael Vick a pocket passer. No,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
you
not sustainable, man. Like you can only
nah.
hope that, it works out like that. Now, um, Baltimore has had some tremendous luck with Lamar Jackson and good for them, but he's the anomaly, man. These other guys come in polished like Russell Wilson was a polished product when he came in. Now he
Mhm.
did have some things where he had to learn the NFL game, but as far as passing the football, there was no question that he could do that. You know what I'm saying? He was that.
Yeah.
You know, but Lamar, they was it was talking to him moving to receiver and all this other stuff,
Hmm.
and it's kind of disrespectful. But
Very.
he came in and proved everyone wrong. Won two MVPs, could have easily been three. But he, even him.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got Cam on my starting lineup, the running back. I celebrate. But but no, yeah, and I think and I used to say this too a lot. I think he went to the best situation that he could have went to with Harbaugh. I used to feel like the best head coaches are special team coaches because they
Mm,
have experience on both sides of the ball, coaching on both sides of the ball. and players on both sides of the ball, I should say. And a special team is. I mean, I want to say Mike Dicker was a special teams coach before he became a head coach. When he was a special teams coach for the Cowboys, and then he became a head coach for the Bears. And I,
Mm-hmm.
and I know Harbaugh was the same way. Um, which
John,
Harbaugh
yeah.
said, yeah, John.
John.
Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh. I believe it was the same. But I used to think special teams had a advantage. But I like the fact that Harbaugh was like, okay, we gonna take a system and fit to his needs, not the other way around, not the way I want to run it. And I think that's why they've been really successful up until this year, um, with it. And that's what just always scares me about young quarterbacks because I just feel like there's some young quarterbacks who career got killed by coaches. I'm not going to say because I mean I look at the Bears' history and for the most part, like we were just going through this up the quarterbacks. The Bears didn't kill their career. They just weren't. Some of them weren't just ready. They should just never been drafted.
and
um, but like I always felt like the Texans killed Carr,
mm,
the older Carr.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and I don't. And I say that to say I don't even know what he would have become, but you threw him out there with the worst offensive line in the history of sports, in the history of football, and when he got sacked like 67 times his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I'm glad Caleb was able to not be gunshot like wake up in the night thinking he about to get hit by a defensive end
Yeah.
because.
And but see, that's why I say, ruining a quarterback, if they're about something, I don't think it's possible.
Mhm,
Like the perfect examples with Carr.
yeah.
He got sacked that many times and fizzled out.
Mhm,
Meanwhile, Caleb continues to ascend,
yeah.
and through all those sacks that Caleb endured, if you look at his numbers, what I'm saying, everything was decent except the wins and losses.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? Now, quarter, I think the QB rating or whatever, that was a thing, but all I know is 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, 3,500 yards. Pretty decent for a first year guy that got
yeah.
sacked 68 times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, um,
But the coach,
but
never mind.
it's it's important that it's important that um
It-
guys where they come if they're not offensive minded coaches, it's important that they attach themselves to coordinators, good coordinators that can kind of guide them through. Because I think Philadelphia has done an excellent job of that. Because I think Sirianni is a special team guy, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's done an excellent job of attaching himself to awesome offensive coordinators.
Mhm.
And the
Oh,
unfortunate part about that is that these guys end up going to get head coaching jobs. They keep doing well, but
yeah.
you know,
That's why.
you have to keep an you have to keep an OC in your back pocket, bro.
That's two things that I like. One thing I liked about what the Bears did with this coaching staff, like basically all of their best. Well, they got an offensive coordinator who's not going to get a head coaching job anytime soon, and they got a defensive coordinator who's a retread who's not going to get a head coaching job anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, I felt like they were smart about how they picked them. But going back to we were talking about I'm gonna say the Commodores, the Commanders earlier with Dan Quinn and his coaching staff last year. What about his coaching staff the year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl? This dude,
Mm.
the one thing he has a great eye for is coaches. I
Well,
mean,
like I'm saying, bro, like you
mm,
have to if your strength is one side of the ball, you have to attach yourself to a great coordinator for that other side. You have to, bro, because it's impossible. Like it's a heck of a job as it is to be a head
mhm,
coach. So, and if your strength is defense, and Belichick's another one, man. Belichick,
mhm,
he attached himself to the young guy. Now the guy left and couldn't head coach for shit, but as an OC, he was a man. What's his name? Former coach for
I
the Broncos and the Rams.
Broncos, yeah,
Um,
Man,
I
took
just
me off
had
spot.
to.
But
Uh,
young guy, wear the hat, call plays, excellent job. Excellent job. And if you think about those 90 teams, those 49er teams in the 90s, the Cowboys teams in the 90s, the Packers teams in the 90s and early 2000s, they had
Josh
a hell
McDaniel.
they Broncos.
Yeah,
They,
McDaniel,
they
Jeff,
yeah.
they had hell
yeah.
they were attached. Listen, they had hellified coaching styles, bro.
Hmm.
Like Holmgren had John Gruden and Andy Reid and what 49ers had Mike McCarthy, and I think John I just named him.
No,
Mike
Mike
Holmgren
Holmgren.
was it. Mike
Yeah,
Holmgren
Mike
was the
Holmgren.
offensive coordinator for the Niners.
Hmm.
It's just, you know, being a head coach is one thing, but you have to attach yourself to guys that know that other side, bro.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I give the Bears sometimes credit. Like when they got Dave Weinstein, he came from Jimmy Johnson,
Hmm.
and he was with Jimmy Johnson. He was with Jimmy Johnson at the Cowboys and the U.
Yeah, to
So
you.
yeah, so I was like, okay, okay. I felt like that was a different turn. Like it was a step in the right direction where we weren't just getting some nice guy from somewhere, But man, going back to that day going, and that was a year. That was the first year I actually covered the Falcons. I want to say,
Mm.
and I had Cal Shanahan as the offensive coordinator, and Raheem Morris was now the head coach,
Yep.
was the assistant head coach. Matt Lafleur was the freaking quarterbacks coach.
Yep.
Uh, Mike McDaniel was an offensive assistant. He's starting
Yep.
to know he might be on his last days. So, Jeff, was it linebacker coach was from the 49ers. Was it Jeff Ulbrich or whatever his name
Yeah,
is?
Jeff Ulbrich. Yeah, Ulbrich was still there until them kids did whatever they did
What they would
to
call, who they
Shador.
call? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like yeah, this. And then what he did last year again. He got Cliff Kingsbury, who who's been a head coach with the Arizona Cardinals, and I want to say he was Murray's first quarterback, right?
Hmm.
Kyler Murray, quarterback there, and
Mhm.
he went back to school. He was Caleb Williams coach at USC, and then like, hey, I'm bringing the dude on my staff, which I
And
thought
then
the
if you,
Bears were going to do something like that.
and if you think about it, they had Anthony Lynn as well. Chargers head coach.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
You know, they staffed up over there. Joe Wicks over there. He's the coordinator. Ken Norton Jr. over there.
Hmm.
You're breaking up there, huh?
Yeah. But I guess it was halftime now. But the Giants beat
Might
the Eagles
be.
20-17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You going to any
It
games
was
this year?
I don't know. Something that sounds crazy. I spoke to Grady Jarrett and his mom about me, shooting for them. I don't know if the Bears would allow it. They used to allow it when I was in Atlanta when I was with the Falcons. So actually, I
Yeah.
built up a relationship with Grady, and I've done his his charity golf tournaments. I've done
Yeah.
his high school camps, and excuse me, like he has a event at what's that place called? Top Golf,
Yeah.
and I've done that and done many events for him. So he's like, he says he cool with it. And then I spoke to his mom. They call her Mama Jared, and she's like, she was like, she contacted, but I haven't got word back yet. So as of right now, no, I say no, but who knows? Like I
Right.
said, but I went. You know what's crazy is I haven't been to a game where I actually was in as a fan in over 10 years. I've
No
always been on
kidding.
the field.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you're on Instagram, I got plenty of pictures of
Yeah.
it's my handle Fields Vision.
Okay.
FIELDS. Yeah, you can check them out. But yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't been, and I think that I went to the. So there's a kid I used to coach at the Cula, Georgia. I went to his. He played for Michigan briefly, and I did go to Michigan Florida game at the Dome at Mercedes-Benz Stadium as a fan. But other than that, I have not. I'm like, man, I don't even know if I can fit in the seats because
I went
I
to
had.
yeah, I went to Monday night, the home opener. Never been to a home opener, so that was nice.
Oh, okay.
Um, and then I'm going to Cincinnati here because that's where I live. I'm from Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to that game, and then I'm coming back for the Packers game, December 20th at Soldier Field. So
Yeah.
I never miss that because I'm gonna walk through them tunnels one day as a winner. I've never been to a winner game against the Packers so far, so gotta
You want to
happen.
know what's crazy? I've been to. I think I know I have a loser record going to Packer games
Yeah,
for the Bears. But the crazy part about it, I think every time they played the Falcons, including the NFC Championship game in 2017, the
yeah,
Falcons beat them. That's like it's crazy. The Falcons own the Packers, and the Bears couldn't beat them.
yeah,
But yeah, I was. You know what? I take that back. The last I went to the Packers game last year
yeah.
at Green Bay. I was at that
Really?
game.
Yeah, they won that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a video of Jason McKee and I just talking trash at the end of the game. Although we both were bad nervous. But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, well, a field goal for the Bears to win it. You got to be nervous.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I've been fortunate to been to a lot of games. My mom went to Super Bowl 20.
Oh,
Um
wow.
my
Man, how nice
uncle,
would that have been?
I know, right? The crazy part about it, I went to all the cold games. So I was at the NFC Championship game and the
Yeah,
NFC playoffs. We had season ticket. And then my other uncle, my uncle rather, he went to the Super Bowl 41 like in Miami and
Miami. Yeah,
ruined his phone and all his other stuff because he said it was just
it was
pouring down
raining.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You could never have
Listen,
told me we weren't going to win that one when Hester ran that one back, man. Yeah,
you know what's crazy? I'm the only one that was like, because if you remember the week before, Ted Ginn Jr. ran one back for Ohio State and they lost. And
yeah,
I'm just superstitious like that when it comes like, oh God, he shouldn't have did that because just last week Ted Ginn did the same thing. We lost. But then I think when we scored again, I want to say literally almost right after there was like a big play. I
yeah,
don't know, it was Thomas Jones run, and then we scored another touchdown to make it like 14-6 or something like that.
yeah,
That then I was like, "Ooh, well maybe this is it." Yeah. Grossman's our quarterback. So what
yeah.
he
I don't
came
think
in.
we gave up that 100-yard rusher all season. I could be wrong about that. And
Yeah.
then I said, well, they're not going to beat us running, and they ran down our necks the whole game.
And that's why to this day I don't understand why Peyton Manning won the MVP for that
Yeah,
trophy. I mean,
he threw
because
two
I
interceptions.
mean, yeah. So that's actually one game. The double joint game is another one that I just cannot go back and watch.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
yeah, just like I watched the Super Bowl, I watched the opening kick, and here he goes, and that's it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
at Hester's. I went last year to Hester's Hall of Fame inauguration here in Canton, and that was pretty cool, man.
oh yeah, yeah. I was there. I was there as well.
Was
I
you?
shot that.
Nice.
Yeah, and what was crazy? I was working. I brought my work computer. I was working in the lobby at first. I said, you know what? We'll
Yeah,
put this thing up. But yeah, I met Patrick Willis. I think he was in the Hall of Fame as well. I met
yeah.
Otis Wilson. He was there, and
I met.
Jared Payton.
Yep. I would love to meet Jared. I was at the Mongo Hall of Fame. Excuse me, the benefit
Mm,
up in Canton last year, and
Okay,
I got to meet Dan Hampton and Otis Wilson and Jim McMahon and some of those guys. Man, he talk about a dream. You know what I mean?
yeah, and that's
I
why I
didn't
tell
know.
people that
Go ahead. So,
no, that's why I be telling people that like they say, oh my God, you on the field like especially when I was in Atlanta, it's like you met Julio, you met Matt
oh, yeah.
Ryan. I said, man, I want to meet Walter Payton. I want to meet. Willie Golf,
Oh,
Desmond McKinnon, Dennis Gentry.
yeah,
I would have Jimbo Covert, Bongo, the Four Horsemen.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't get it all. I don't get it. I'm not in all of none of these young players.
yeah,
But I said, boy, if I could have ever met um, Neil Anderson, number 35, or even Matt
yeah.
Stewie, I probably fan out. They're like, why?
Where
And
is
I'm like,
Brad Muster, man? Where is Brad Muster?
wasn't
That
Brad Mustard and Wendell Davis drafted the same year, back to back,
I
11 and
think
12?
so. I think
Yep.
so. Brad Muster was is one of my favorite Bears, man. He's a
First,
guy. He's an unheralded man, but Brad
first Mike
Muster
Allstott.
was Brad Muster was tough, dog.
yeah. I remember.
He can come out that backfield and catch the ball, man. I think he was like 6'3", 240.
Yeah,
Now the
Huh?
speed, it didn't look super fast on TV, but I guess he pulling away from Joker, so he had to be some.
yeah,
But
$25.
he was a factor back, man. He was a factor back. I think Mustard was drafted in 88, 89, 88. He was
Mhm.
definitely first round pick though, because he was great coming out of school.
Yeah,
But
because he went to Stanford, I want to say.
yeah,
'Cause who was it? Was it okay? Maybe we pull up the draft. It was the 1988 NFL draft. Because I want to see the Bears had the 11 and 12 pick. Because you want to know what's crazy? Why I remember it? Because they announced it I was at the Bulls playoff game. During, I remember they announced it, and a bunch of people was like, who? And I was excited because as like as a 12-year-old, I knew who it was.
but that was a heck of a draft. That '88 draft, man. That was a heck
Oh,
of
you
a
know what?
draft. I
Oh, my
think
bad.
Tim Brown was in that draft. Michael Irvin.
ooh,
Erling Sharp,
Who was
Brandon
first
Mc,
pick?
because the Falcons had it. Andre Bruce, linebacker.
Andre Bruce.
Neil Smith was second though,
Neil
and then
Smith was second.
Benny Blades, which is from the U. So I was always, I'm a
Hmm.
U fan. But yeah. Actually, you know what? They didn't have. They were they had two first round picks, Wendell Davis and Craig and Brad Mustard. But Brad Mustard was the 23rd pick, and Wendell Davis was the 27th pick. But you know who won in the second round? It was like three Hall of Famers: Eric Allen, Thurman Thomas, and Demonte Dawson were all second round players.
And just very good players. Ken Norton Jr.,
Hmm.
yeah.
Flipper Anderson, um, Chip Lowmiller, huh? To kicker. Chris Spielman,
Brian Blade, Brian
Icky
Braid,
Woods.
Icky Woods. I
Michael
remember.
William Perry brother, Michael Dean Perry.
Yep. Jumbo Elliott.
Craig Ironhead Hayward. Remember him?
Greg
Yep.
Ironhead
Well, I got a
Haywood.
crazy story. His widow used to play on my kickball team. I used to coach an all girl women's kickball team.
Yeah.
Yeah, she played on there. Met her
His kid
son, Craig and Casey. I
yeah,
mean
his
Casey
kids
and
his kids went to school out there with my cousin. My
Peachtree
cousin
Ridge.
yeah, my cousin know him very well, yep. Um Lorenzo White,
Yeah.
running back for Houston Oilers out of Michigan State. Yep.
The
Yeah, that was a
spitter
good
went.
draft, man.
The
But
spitter went in the
yeah,
third round. Bill Romanowski.
yeah. But yeah, man, we gotta find Brad Muster, man. We gotta find him, man. We're gonna give Track some homework, man. See if he can find Brad Muster for us, man.
Yeah, he's 60. He's still kicking it somewhere.
Yeah. He from California, so he probably looking young. Most of them guys out there in California, man. Hey,
Walking around with flip flops on, with chin
yeah.
tuckers.
He still got muscles and stuff looking like a supermodel. But hey, it's halftime, fellas, and the Giants have a lead, 20-17.
Nice.
Pretty good, pretty good game, man. Like I said, Jackson Dart. He's making the razzle dazzles, he's making the exciting plays, man. But is it sustainable, man? Special team has done a good job of putting them in position to be good field position. But this play style, Jackson Dart, Eagles gonna make adjustments. Vic Fangio gonna make adjustments, but Vic has a little trouble with guys that can move around a little bit, and we know that firsthand. But I wonder if he can keep this up. The receivers are playing very well. They're getting open and everything. Now the Eagles lost their best corner,
Mm.
the second year guy, out of where is he out of? I want to say, is he out of Kent State? Second year Eagle corner. I don't think it's Kent State. Um, what is his name? Number 27.
Mm.
But he's their best corner. But he's out with a hamstring. So with a number of key guys out, the Eagles are holding on. The tush push is in full effect. I think they ran it about 8 times in the first half. So, they getting it done. They getting it done. But the Giants holding on to a lead. Now, it's a thing about listen, like I said, these player only meetings.
Mhm.
This is where it could get ugly. These guys jump out here and lose this game after having this 3-player meeting.
Yeah. National
Oh, we
TV. Mm.
guys gonna
Stephen A.
have some
Smith
fun.
gonna have a field day tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Guys gonna have some fun with that one. But
I found him.
I don't blame them either. Players only meetings, man. It's a little shaky, man. It's a little shaky.
Did you
You guys got any shout outs, man? Anything you want to put on? Quinyon Mitchell is his name. Quinyon Mitchell, that's the corner. That got hurt.
when you come back
Toledo, he's from Toledo.
when you going back home? I mean, when you going back to Atlanta?
Oh, I'm still in Atlanta.
No, I'm talking
I'm
about you. You gonna talk about when you come back when you come here.
oh haven't made my mind up yet, bro. I think I may stay till Tuesday
Mhm.
because I'm trying to figure if I'm gonna leave out Sunday night or Monday morning.
You driving?
Huh?
You driving?
No.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna get on the plane.
gotcha. Well, I'll be there Thursday. I'll be on the road though. This time next week, I'll be on my road. I'll be on the road to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I'll be back by then.
No, okay.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be like I said, I'll probably come back Tuesday morning.
But Brad
Yeah,
Munster is he's at Santa Rosa Junior College. He's an instructor there.
really
Huh.
Yeah,
instructor.
he teaches.
Okay.
Well, they say golf, but yeah,
Uh,
he teaches golf
okay.
there.
Okay. We gonna have to
Nice.
see it. We gonna have to see if we can get him on here, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're gonna
and
see
you
about
know
it,
what's
man.
crazy if you remember. Well, I didn't. I remember after just seeing it, but when he ended up going to New Orleans his last 2 years, replacing Craig Haywood, and you remember Craig Haywood came
Hey, we
here.
end up coming here. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
might as well trade it for each other. But yeah, that's crazy. That's how football is sometimes.
Yeah, that's how I go, man. Bunch of moving
Wait a
parts.
minute. Wait, no, he wasn't there. I was about to say, was Mike Dicker? No,
Craig Hayward's last year. I mean,
no, it's about
Craig
Brad
Hayward
Munster.
here with us. That was in '90. Oh, Brad Muster. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was Dicker.
and he
That was
traded the whole
definitely.
farm system for Ricky Williams.
Yeah, that was definitely Dicker. But um, listen, I want to shout out to everybody that's checking us out tonight. Appreciate you rocking with us. Um,
That
good to chat football with you, gentlemen. And we
Yes, sir.
gonna listen. We gonna win Monday, y'all. We gonna
Absolutely.
win Monday. You know what I'm saying? I'll BS to the side, brother. We gonna win Monday. We're gonna get it done, and we're gonna do that short week and get prepared for the next team. But I really feel like we're gonna win Monday. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Miss Cheryl keeping us abreast of what's going on in hockey and baseball. Ian Happ hit a home run. We up 3-0 versus the Brewers after one. I remember what
I don't know what
happened
that
last time,
braid
a
hat.
3-run homer. Yeah, I see what your braids had. But shout out to Track, shout out to the chat, shout out to everybody watching us wherever you're watching us from. We appreciate it very, very dearly. Please like and subscribe. You know, this is a Bears podcast for Bears fans by Bears fans. Please come on in, check us out. I'm guaranteeing that you're gonna love it here. One
Yep.
more time, Monday night, Wind Creek Casino, Wind Creek, Chicago. Watch party for the Bears and Commanders with Brandon Trax Hyatt and Jim Miller. We're gonna have CSP is gonna be representing that thing, and I'm coming too. So if
Nice.
I'm coming to this party, I need y'all there too. Y'all come on, support the watch party. Um, keep an eye on it, support it. Wind Creek, Chicago, Casino, Monday Night Football, Bears versus Commanders. I will be in the building. Brandon Trax High will be in the building. I wish I knew about the other guys that's coming, but Chicago Sports Podcast will be in the building. We need y'all there too. Please show the support. Because it's gonna be a good time. I feel it. I've never been
Yep.
to Winter Creek, but I feel like I'm gonna have a great time. Not a gambler, not in casinos anyway. But you know, I'm looking forward for a great time, a bunch of interactions. Like I said, former Bears quarterback Jim Miller will be in the building, giving his player perspective, letting us know, the things to look out for from a player's perspective. That's always needed, always necessary. So you guys check us out, Chicago Wind Creek Casino. Um, Shout out to everybody again. Shout out to everybody that's checking us out tonight. We did a whole almost 2.5 hours. Shout out to you guys, Jim, T Field. Shout out to y'all, for coming in. Shout out to Trax. He tried to come in too, but I don't know what was happening. But you know, um, you guys got anything before we get up out of here?
Okay, let's go.
Yep. Bear down. That's it, baby.
Peace up, bear down. Y'all be safe out there.
See you
Yeah.
guys.
Peace.